Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to another weekly rewind. Week 3 is in the books. I I don't have much to say about this week, in all honesty. My team stunk. Um, Jake, how'd it go this week, man?
On the other hand, yeah, I had a great week 3.
Yeah, top scorer.
This team might be back. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff to get into. Big week 3.
That's good. That's very good. Um, all right. Well, let's dig into the matchups right away. Who? Let's start with Lemons and Preston. This was ugly fast, dude. Manthai's team is just not good. Without Chubb, I mean, the guy started Matt Breida and A.J. Dillon. I mean, I get Matt Breida because, Saquon was out and all that, so, there's an argument to be made there, but A.J. Dillon just has not been good for fantasy, at least. He looked, in my opinion, so a lot of people have been giving A.J. Dillon shit for not being good. And weeks 1 and 2, understandable. Last week, I don't know what you looked at on the field there, Jake, but I thought AJ Dillon looked all right last week on the field. He didn't get a ton of touches, kind of got game scripted out, and I thought I heard he
Yeah,
had picked up an injury maybe.
fully agree with that. The game script had a little bit to do with that. I was definitely one of the guys that was just completely out on AJ Dillon. Week 2 like cemented that.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to
Practice thing after the game. It was
yeah,
the game.
it's tough to be banging the drum for a guy that went 11 carries for 33 yards, but I don't know. I thought he
Yeah,
did well with what was given in front of him last week. Granted, fantasy, he's got to be on the bench, right? Not that Preston has a ton of options. Aaron Jones should play this week though, so that's big for him, from what I've been hearing.
breaking news. I just got a notification that Christian Watson will be active tomorrow
Oh,
for the game Thursday night. I'm excited for that.
there we go.
I wasn't even. I felt like even if they said there's a 75% chance from going, I thought they would have just held him another week, just with how the Packers do it. And they're like, why not? But
It's fair.
we're excited. It was a pretty big game. I mean, you're thinking down the road about the division. The Lions and Packers would look like the two teams that are gonna emerge from the NFC North. So
This game is
if
massive.
he's ready, yeah, if he's ready, let's see what he's got. See
Yep.
if Jordan Love likes him.
And to your credit about holding, guys that are borderline like Watson might have been. We played Thursday, right? So we already have a long week ahead of us for next week. But next week our game is on Monday, and then we have a bye week. So there's a lot of time
Really,
in between, So
yeah.
you play a a game in however many days, right? And then you've got that massive bye week gap, and yeah, there's an argument to be made for. I'd be surprised if Bakhtiari plays before the bye week, based on what I'm seeing there, and maybe even Elton Jenkins too. I'm pretty sure I saw that him, Bakhtiari, were both ruled out,
I
and
think I definitely saw Bakhtiari's ruled out. I'm sure Elton is
I
too.
saw
You
Elton
know.
too. I saw Jair was
Okay.
questionable, along with Watson and Aaron Jones was the notification that I saw earlier. But yeah, if Watson's in, that's big. Not that that matters for Manthai or this matchup at all.
I was about to say yeah, it doesn't
A little bit of a
not relevant,
tangent.
but I had to say that instantly. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
Mike's team
mean this
popped
game
off.
wasn't. Yeah, like you said, this game was never close. Raheem Mostert did his thing that we haven't
Three.
seen in a while. That was just crazy. 45 points from Raheem
Yeah, he had
Mostert.
4 touchdowns, right? 3 rushing and 1 receiving. Yeah,
Yep, and that was
disgusting.
following up a 30-point game in week 2. So this is a really good start for Raheem Mostert, and that's got to feel
Yep.
really good from Lemon's team, knowing the question mark that was there at the
Not to
start of the
mention,
season. So,
not to mention Tyreek
yeah,
Hill dropping bombs in the same game.
yep.
I mean, that game was just nuts. 70 points, Jake.
A Chain, who now I saw that he requested a name pronunciation change. I think
Yes,
it's A Chan now. Is
A
that correct? Yeah.
Chan. That
So
is correct.
A
I also
Chan.
saw
Yep.
that. So we
Just
can
remembered that.
culture everybody. You know what I remember
Yeah.
about Devon A. Chan is on draft day, we've got Brandon sitting in our. It was you, me, Brandon, Lemons. I think
Yep.
that might have been it. Um, and I remember Brandon broke news that Devon Achane was being carted off from the preseason game that was going on at the time. And we're like, oh, that sucks. And then like 3 minutes later, he drafted Devon Achane. And
that was actually me that got the notification.
oh, you broke the news?
I showed Brandon. I did not tell you and Lemons. I showed Brandon right next to me, and then he drafted him 20 minutes later.
That's
He's like, "Oh
awesome.
shit, that's the guy you showed me about." I'm like, well,
You've forgotten already. And then he was all
I'd
mad about the
forgotten.
pick, and hey, look at him now.
Oh yeah, it already paid off
Hell yeah.
just from that.
We'll see how
Jesus.
it goes rest of the season.
Yeah, that game felt like it was months ago already. I feel like the 70 points has been talked about so much, but
That's true. It doesn't feel
does
like it
win
was
you
this
does
months.
literally win you a week, as seen here. Not that it would have been needed actually to beat Manthey's 75 points, but
True. Would have lost to you though, Jake.
yeah.
Just saying.
And I'm looking at Laporta on Manthey's bench, and I think I did that in a
Yeah,
couple, and I did that in a couple of leagues. I'm sure most people had him on the bench, honestly, unless you were in a tough spot. It's tough to start a rookie tight end week 3. It really is. So I can't blame him, but it does look pretty bad to see 24 from the tight end on the bench.
it
It
does.
doesn't happen often.
Dude, if I'm Preston, Laporta's in rest of the season. Unless he
Yeah, I
proves that he
mean,
doesn't. I mean, he's outscored the Muth this year, and like you said, rookie tight end, and rookie tight ends notoriously start slow. I mean, usually they take years, but I mean, shoot, if you can tell me there's even a chance of him dropping 24, throw him in. And the Muth had a good week, but I mean, 7-1 for his other 2 weeks. You know, it's not like he's been
he got a
stubby.
touchdown. Got a touchdown in week 3,
Yep.
so
Yes, he did.
that's where the 13 came from.
He also had a touchdown week 1 and only had 7 points.
Oh, that hurts.
So, because it was one catch for 3 yards, I remember that play. Because I saw that, I'm like, oh, look, he must be having a good game. And then I looked, I was like,
Um,
oh, I mean, for a tight end, you can't really complain if they score a touchdown. But
I'm interested in knowing whether because Lemons was almost on the pod this week. I'm interested in knowing if he had an option to start another running back in the flex or someone else that was kind of projected like around 11 or 12, if he would have started them over Ford. Because I feel like as the week grew,
hmm
uh, people started turning away from. I don't know. Maybe this was just me, but some people are kind of like going up against Tennessee. They actually got a pretty good defensive line, and he hadn't been working in the passing game either. He only caught 2 passes for 33 yards and touchdown. But
yep,
either way, he kind of popped off.
yeah, and you know what? The process I think in your argument there is sound because, like you said, he didn't have a big performance in terms of carries, yards, receptions, right? I mean, he had 33 rush yards, or sorry, 33 receiving yards and 18 rush yards. I mean, he just had 2 touchdowns. So
Yeah,
if he doesn't get in the end zone, and hey, kudos to him for making it to the end zone. But if he doesn't, you're disappointed in Ford this week. So I get what you're saying, but
yeah,
also, I mean, Tennessee, like you said, Tennessee's a good defense, and their schedule looks pretty cake for the rest of the season. So I'd be pretty
it
comfortable with
does.
Jerome Ford going forward. But
Yeah,
hey, and who knows when Kamara comes back? Kamara might be in that spot, unless Mostert gets injured. I mean, and that's Brian Robinson. I keep forgetting this is not Bijan because B Robinson. But
it looks nice. It looks
it
nice seeing B Robinson
it
there. It
does
really
look
does.
nice. And then you see 7
We'll
points
call it
real
out
quick.
every week. Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't have anything else to add to this other than Joe Burrow still very questionable.
yeah, no kidding, man. Jeez. What can you do? I mean, Preston's entire team is questionable. Maybe Stafford gets thrown in there next week, but I mean they've got the Colts. Should be fine. I don't know. Who does since you have Tennessee? Tennessee's run game is really good. Their pass game not quite up to snuff. We'll see. But let's move on from this. This is a dumpster fire matchup. Let's go to Nick B and Brandon, another one that wasn't particularly close. Jalen Hurts, honestly, my opinion on Jalen Hurts was he didn't really look that great in the game, but he got the job done with 21 points. And Puka was all right dealing with that injury. McCaffrey's a beast. Nick B's been starting Tyler Algier. He must be in a rough spot for running backs. Oof, yeah, he is. I would have started Kendre Miller last week, and I would have been disappointed.
Can't remember if he started Warren the week before, or if he started Warren like week 1. Jalen Warren, I can't remember, but I think he did start Algier last week. Yeah. sounds right.
Warren has not graced his lineup yet.
Okay, he hasn't. Yeah. Well, when you got Christian McCaffrey, there's already one spot that's locked up for the
Yeah.
whole season. So
And it helps when Buffalo's defense drops 33, dude. Top scoring
yeah,
defense of the
wasn't
week.
was not too close, and Hurts didn't need to do anything. The week was already locked up. But
Yeah. And it helps when Brandon's team only drops 100 burger. It's good. If you're Brandon, it's good to see Lamar doing work. And Devonta Smith doesn't have 7 points every week. So Judy having 13 is good to see for him. Honestly, most of his team was all right. It's just nobody popped off, which was kind of his problem. A couple players disappointed, and everybody else was pretty solid. So
yeah, I was gonna say this is kind of where you start getting a little bit worried about Garrett Wilson. Had 14 the first week, 18 the second week. Now under 10 off of 5 catches. I mean, 5 catches isn't bad, isn't terrible by any means, but when he had 2 catches the week before in week 2, I'd be a little nervous there.
it's just a touchdown.
I mean, we already know the Jets quarterback situation.
Yeah.
So
Hey, what's your take on the Jets quarterback situation? Are they going to move on from Zach Wilson, or you think they're going to ride him off into the sunset this year?
I felt bad for Zach after hearing what Joe Namath had to say on whatever radio. I'm assuming he saw that, maybe not, but
I have not
he's
seen
like,
it.
he's like, he basically said he's done with Zach Wilson. Like, it was a waste of a pick. He's never going to be anything. I'm like, damn, Joe Namath coming at Zach Wilson.
I mean, just because he's right doesn't mean he has to say it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's not gonna. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do at all.
I've heard that the Jets have been imploding a little bit internally. I don't know if you've heard that news. I don't know if you've heard anything about Rodgers talking about how people have been arguing on the sidelines, blaming coaching, pointing fingers, whatnot. So Rodgers hasn't been very happy about that from the articles I've been. I think he said that on the Pat McAfee show. So
yeah, I don't know who they're looking at or if they're looking at anybody. I remember seeing maybe like 2 weeks ago their head coach saying that they're going to make Zach Wilson the starter for the rest of the year.
Yep.
But that plan can definitely change.
I think they brought in.
It has to change, maybe.
I think they brought in Trevor Siemian, or was he already on the team?
Okay.
One of the two. I think Siemian's on the roster.
I think they must have brought him in. I don't remember seeing him.
I think they brought him in for very recently. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't in Hard Knocks. I'm guessing they brought him in, but I don't remember exactly when that was. But as far as the rest of this matchup goes, I guess, Garrett Wilson, tough to start, but I don't know. If it's me, I'm not super worried. I mean, Swift on the bench would be the guy you'd throw in there, right? If you have confidence that Swift can continue to produce at a high level, which,
yeah.
I mean, as far as I've seen, it's hard to not trust him.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's where you look down at the bench and see you know who down there with 58 points on the bench.
You would have won him the week. Oh no, it would have been just shy actually, but it would have been damn close, huh?
I need to know from the record book who the highest scorer on the bench has ever been.
On the bench, I don't have that as a stat, but I could probably make that as a stat.
I'm just interested in general, but this feels like it has to be up there.
I'll make a note.
Projected under 5 points, getting 58. That has to be unprecedented. There's no way. I'm trying to think who would even do that. Like maybe freaking Kareem Hunt his rookie year, the first game against the Patriots, but he probably wasn't even projected. Like he was probably projected more than 5. I don't know who else would have done it.
A-Chain. Yeah, I mean, that's historic, right? 4 touchdowns. And the best part about it was I was sitting with Brandon during that game. He was just, him and Mostert were just taking turns scoring touchdowns for fun. And I have Mostert on one of my teams, so I'm super happy. And then every time A-Chain scores, Brandon just sheds an extra tear from being on his bench.
It is crazy that if he's plugged in there, and like let's just say, you just look at Nick's lineup, like easily Jacoby Myers could have had like 10 less, or if he didn't have Buffalo defense, if he had a different defense, like this totally could have been a completely different game.
Absolutely.
One player making the difference, but either way, that's just one more loss for Brandon, unfortunately. And I commented today as we look in the future as we look toward the waiver wire, certain player Tank Dell was picked up by someone, and
Ooh.
this is now the second Tank that has been rostered this year, not owned by the team with Tank season team. So I think that warrants a team name change, or
It
he will
might.
have to trade for or pick up Tank Bigsby or something. But we just don't have these tanks relevant generally. I don't remember any other tanks in recent years.
I agree. I also do not remember anybody by the name of Tank that's ever been fantasy relevant. So going forward, Jake, would you be comfortable starting Devon Achane, or would you want to see more? Remember, his first week was I don't think he played. I think he was hurt. And week 2, he got 1.9 on 1 carry and 1 catch.
I mean, at this point, it's tough to know where Brandon's head is at. It's like I kind of think we need to get him on the podcast some point soon. Maybe not. Maybe he has to get a win first.
Yeah, he has to get a win first.
I don't
He's
even
not allowed
know.
on.
I don't even know if his best move is to make a trade so that he doesn't have to think about whether to start HN or if he actually is going to go tank mode and just trade away some studs or what he wants to do. But yeah, I think he's going to be in a predicament if he's going to have to decide every single week whether to start HN when you have that potential. You can't. I'm looking at his lineup. There's no way he's going to start it every week. I don't think. He's got some names.
I think with a guy like HN in Brandon's situation, it's probably worth the gamble to hang on to him and hope that he becomes something that you can keep because he drafted him late.
Yeah. Oh, that's very possible. I mean, when Raheem Mostert is the player in front of you,
Yeah, I mean,
you got to keep him.
now to be fair, Jeff Wilson's on the roster, still injured, and they have somebody else on the roster too that's also injured. So the Dolphins have like 4 running backs on the team. So if all 4 of them are healthy, if the stars align just right, I don't know if you can play anybody. You know what I mean? The Dolphins running back room is so icky. And I've heard rumors of like, hey, maybe they'll bring in like JT or something. But even if they bring in JT, is JT going to be the guy? I mean, A-Chain's still going to get touches. Most are still going to play. I mean, come on, man. So there's the Miami running back room is really nice when half of them are injured because you can start A-Chain, I think. If it's him and Mostert, you can start them both. But if there are 3 healthy, then you could probably only start Mostert, or whoever the top guy is going to be. 2 of them are going to have a good week every week, I think, and picking those 2 is not always easy if there's more than 2. I don't know.
I mean, also we got to remember that Jalen Waddle was out for this one. I don't know if you
that is true,
but he was out, so I don't know how that's going to change.
I think I heard that he's going to be back this week. Yeah, he practiced fully.
Okay.
Or is going to practice fully on Thursday, apparently. Still in concussion protocol, but, I mean, from what I've seen on players practicing fully on Thursday, they're going to play. I'd feel good about it. So, anywho, let's bump on over to my matchup versus Laner, huh?
Do it.
This is a tough one for me, dude. My team played really well, except I really got let down.
124 is respectable. Yeah.
124 is not respectable, but
it's winnable. You can win games.
My running backs let me down in a big way, man. And Justin Fields did too, but I kind of expected it. It was tough sledding for me because Chris Olave is a stud, and Devontae Adams dropped 46 to keep it interesting. Darren Waller is a tight end, so 5 points I won't get mad about. Zay Flowers is looking like he's the guy in Baltimore to own. I mean, the defense and kicker were fine. And it's just like, come on, man. Less than 5 points combined on my starting running back. I mean, freaking Derrick Henry, 2 points. Josh Kelly, 2.7 on 11 carries and a catch. Come on, man. And with no Eckler playing in that game. It's not like I started Josh Kelly on a whim. He was the guy there, dude. Yeah. It's tough. Because if I get some, even if Justin Fields stinks, if I get like 10 points out of each of my running backs, I might win that game. You know what I mean? And it's not like my bench outperformed. I mean, Rashad White had 7. Cool. I mean, I guess he outscored them both combined, so it's fair enough. And Samaje Perine had 4, so it's not like I was missing out. Madison hurt me a bit. Actually, if I start Madison and Rashad White. But it's not like I'm ever benching Derrick Henry, you know what I mean? It's like Madison for Kelly, and I'm still losing, but it's closer. I just become more sad when Devontae Adams drops 46 and not 50. Yeah. But
Yeah, I'd be more sad about not being able to use Mike Williams
yeah,
in the Swan Song game. It feels bad. It's a tough one.
that does
Tough
suck.
loss.
I'm hoping he'll be back this year. No, he tore his ACL, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, injured reserve. Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, torn ACL.
Yeah.
He won't be back.
I'm gonna slap him in my IR for the full season, and maybe I can win him a ring.
Fact it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with Rogers. He's in the IR still.
See, when you have two
I don't know
IR
if my team
slots,
feels like it's. Yeah, I still don't know if my team feels confident to make that long run, but I can hold Rogers. I'll
Yep.
hold him hostage on the team.
absolutely. And on the bench, I mean, it's awesome to see Musgrave getting points, and Romeo Dobbs looks like a monster. Handful of good games, right? There are points to be had on the team. I just gotta find the right combinations tricky. But
Really, I'm still really excited for Dobbs. I mean, every time we got in the red zone, I wonder if this is just that Christian Watson isn't playing, but it was just try to get Dobbs like a jump ball or whatever, some back shoulder thing.
there was
Like
so much of that.
they're really working on it, and he got the one that mattered at the end.
He's
so.
been catching them, yeah. I mean, tough to argue with it.
Yep.
And Luke Musgrave, I mean, the fact that he can drop 11 and every week leave so many points on the board from Love overthrowing him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
supposed to say I like Musgrave a lot, and he has been missed on probably 80, 90 yards already. Maybe actually more than that, definitely, because there's been some deep ones.
If Love connects on just
Yeah.
one of those, like, I don't know. I mean, people are probably talking about Musgrave in a different light. But hey,
I mean, the NFC North tight ends kind of popping off. I mean, Laporta, Hawkinson. Isn't Hawkinson like tight end one now? Maybe Kelsey is still. I don't know. He's injured, but Hawkinson played really well recently.
yeah,
Slept on
Hawkinson's
tight
a
ends.
beast.
Tight end division now.
Tight end. It is tight end, except for the Bears. Or Cole Kmet. And I mean, Lane's team had a good week. Right? Justin Herbert dropped a 40 bomb basically. Debo on Thursday was depressing. Amon-Ra, Pollard. I mean, Nico Collins. I mean, hey, when Tank Dell drops all the points. So the bench was all right for Lane or two. Jerick McKinnon had a surprisingly good week. DJ Chark, stud. 11 targets, really? Good for him. So, yeah, I mean, Lane's team just outperformed me, plain simple. I got some stuff to figure out at quarterback and running back, but the wide receivers are monstrous. I've got a ton of good wide receivers. If anybody wants Mike Williams, my DMs are open.
Maybe you talk to Brandon looking for another running back. I don't know.
Yeah, Brand doesn't
Maybe
have
not,
that many
but
running backs though. He has guys, but none of them are.
cheap running backs.
Yeah. So, all right. Who do we got? Yeah, so we did boom, boom, and boom. Let's bounce on over to. These are both settled by 20 points. Let's do yours, Jake.
Sweet.
Big 175 to 155 dub. Feels bad to be a George, dude.
No, it doesn't because he's beaten me 5 times in a row. So this was absolutely due. It feels nice to win one.
I do like the magic touch of Daddy will be back.
I didn't even notice that until now. He changed it to
yeah.
something related to my team. I just need to just make a new team name. I'm slacking on that, but
yeah, you do.
Again, Keenan Allen. Like I
what
keep
a guy.
saying, he's just been an insane keeper.
200.
Getting better every week. 14, 34, 53. We're talking 75 next week. We're on track
touchdown.
for 75. Yeah, he threw into Mike Williams.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw the replay they showed during the Packer game. I can't remember what time
I think it was
during a different game. I think it was. Yeah, he had Josh Palmer and Mike Williams literally right next to each other, and he just got to pick Mike Williams. It was kind of funny.
Good times.
But
the team was nice.
This started off Thursday night game. I started Brock Purdy. I was really questioning who to start at quarterback, whether it be Jordan Love against the Saints, who, by the way, I was feeling really well. I felt really good in general about Brock Purdy getting 24 on a Thursday night. That was really nice. And George Kittle with 16. So I went into the weekend looking good. And then I felt even better when Jordan Love was not. I didn't actually feel better as a Packer fan, but Jordan Love wasn't doing anything in the first 3 quarters, and then he just popped off at the end. So he actually did outscore Purdy, but I still think I made the right call, but the wrong call. I'm gonna say it was the right call.
It wouldn't have mattered. They were within a point. Who cares at that point?
Yeah. But the team. This was a nice confidence boost. Even like Jason Sanders 10. Like he had 10 PATs. That's why.
10 points, no field goals.
PATs. That would have been a huge game.
That's hilarious.
They got 20 plus easily. So he did get outscored by Harrison Butker, who had, let's see. Okay, he had 5 PATs.
Only 5 PATs.
Only 5 PATs.
What a scrub.
But yeah, this was a huge win. George absolutely would have. I think he would have beaten everybody else. Is there one person he would have not beat? Let's see. Okay, he would have lost to Nick
Lemons,
B.
right? Or Nick B. That's who it was. Oh, and Lemons.
Yeah. Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah, two teams. So I guess George had a pretty shit week. But we're 2-1. Could have easily been 3-0 if he wouldn't have lost last week by like 2 points to Preston or whatever it was. So that kind of still stings, but. Yeah, I mean, the whole team feels like it's coming together a bit now. I don't know. We still have Eckler on the bench. I almost forgot about that, but I wanted to say I think Eckler's going to be back this week.
I don't think he will be.
You don't think so?
I saw a report come out today that this is a quote like from him. He said he can run full speed in a straight line, but he cannot cut. And then when he was asked about being able to play, he said, "We'll see." But in my opinion, that's not positive. I think you'll see him after the bye week. 'Cause they have a bye week 5.
I'm gonna allow him to hold him off this week after the bye week. They'll be all fresh legs, whatever.
And ready to go against Dallas and Kansas City.
It's tough that I got to play against Greg next week, and I really need Eckler. But
yeah,
let's just keep him healthy the rest of the season.
I got Josh Kelly if you need some of that love, Jake.
Josh Kelly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Josh Kelly looked last week.
So, the only thing I'm going to say about Georgia's team here is, A, it popped off, and I feel kind of bad that he's 0-3 with this team. But more importantly, B, it's got to be so tough seeing Zach Moss and Adam Thielen on the bench with Breece Hall in there at 2.7. Because
that does hurt.
I probably would have started Zach Moss over Breece Hall this week, and that is tough. Did he get hurt in that?
I would have done it.
No, it's just his knee issue he's got going on.
No, I just looked in it. I just saw. Yeah, that would have done it. That would have won in the week if he did start Zach Moss.
It would have been close though.
It would have been super close.
Couple points.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wouldn't that have made you sad? Wouldn't it have made you feel dumb if Jordan Love would have won you that if George did that?
Oh, if that would have been, that, yes, I would have felt really dumb. But I'm trying to see who my latest player was, or I guess it would have been the Philadelphia defense. Oh my god, it would have been another week losing related to a defense being the last player. Jesus.
Good stuff. So yeah, tough luck there, George. Not gonna lie, you're not gonna stay 0 wins for long. I don't think. Tua's good. JJ's a monster. Jacobs will probably find his footing. I don't know. He's been struggling a little bit, but Zach Moss will carry you until JT comes back. If he comes back? Question mark.
If he comes back, yes.
All right, last matchup. We got Greg and Cade. This was honestly an unconvincing win from Greg. He won by 20 points, but his team wasn't that great, especially for a guy that had Kenneth Walker and Kirk Cousins and Hawkinson. The Jacksonville defense doesn't help, I guess. Minus 2.5 points.
Oh Jesus.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah, you can't be defenses against Houston anymore. They're actually figuring it out. CJ Stroud's looking better. Yeah.
Oh, he benched Jamar Chase. Tough.
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. He said he was gonna do that. I told you it was gonna bite you in the ass, Greg. I mean, you still won, so it didn't really bite you in the ass. But come on, man. He dropped 141 on 12 catches.
Look at this bench is incredible.
Oh my god.
Both teams have some really big scorers on the bench.
The benches outscored. Both benches outscored Cade's lineup. Just saying. I mean, there's probably more players on the bench, so I guess fair enough. But hey, well, I don't know. We got quarterback, one, two, three wide receivers, a running back, tight end. Okay, so swap a running back for a wide receiver, and you got one bonus player, but no kicker, no defense. Yeah, it's pretty even. Just saying, man. Cade's team. Yeah, I mean, you're never benching Josh Allen, and Deshaun Watson sucks. I don't care, but dude. 23 points against the Titans defense. It's like, ugh. 7,
You know what?
18.
Did Cade pick up? Did he have Taysom Hill going into that week, or did he pick him up like last minute before the game? I don't
He
remember.
picked him up Sunday morning.
I
And
totally thought Taysom Hill was going to be a great play too. I'm sure that's what he was going for
sure.
over Goddard.
Yeah, with no.
Goddard's definitely a solid tight end, but
Wait,
wow,
why were you
yeah,
thinking
that's a tough
Taysom Hill's a
play.
good play with Carr healthy at the beginning of the game? I don't get that. I guess he had 8 points last week, and he does rip up Green Bay. I don't know. Taysom Hill seems like Taysom Hill to me, man. But
You cut out there if you said something.
oh,
I
did
didn't
I?
hear it, but
Oh, my bad.
yeah.
I was just what makes you say Taysom Hill would have been a good play this week?
So you didn't hear me say anything there.
No, 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 no.
Okay, cool. I just said I think I was saying like the running game seemed like it was going to be questionable, and maybe
Oh,
Taysom
okay.
Hill was going to get some work
Oh,
there.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It felt like it was worth a shot at tight end.
I could see
And
that.
I'm saying for other leagues that I think I picked him up in one and played him there. I don't know if I would have done it over Goddard, but I think I see what Cade was going for.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think Goddard had been struggling up until Goose and 8. He's fine.
And I think you still probably remembered like the 50 or 40 point weeks from Taysom Hill, probably like week 3 last year. It was pretty early on in the season.
Yeah, I remember that too. Do you remember why I remember that, Jake?
Let's hear it.
Lemons remembers why. Because
Are you going up against Lemons?
every single time Taysom Hill's a big week, I'm going up against him. It's disgusting.
Classic.
And it's
Yeah.
always Mike. Hate that guy. So, anywho, Cade's team, Josh Allen was mild. I mean, honestly, it's when your team drops 37, you're kind of sad, but also, I mean, the defense did a lot of that work, so it's tough to blame the guy. Washington didn't stand a chance. Higgins, honestly, okay, so not only did Chase dominate Higgins, it's exactly what I told Greg too. Higgins would suck, and Chase is, come on, man. Higgins just dropped a couple passes too, and a handful of his targets weren't catchable, but yeah, I think he had like 8 targets, didn't he? I have to look.
See,
Yeah, 8 targets. The guy caught 2 passes. It's like a couple of those were just drops when I was watching that game, so that's tough. But he'll bounce back. AJ Brown, beast. This is the real Bijan. 10 points. Not much different than Brian. Not gonna lie.
no, yeah.
Atlanta got shut down. Etienne, Taysom, Ramondre, yeah, Dallas defense. So both these defenses struggled, which is kind of funny, dude. Dallas got whipped up
Which,
on
by
by
the way,
Arizona.
Cade would have guessed over 20 versus like if I said, is there a better chance of Dallas getting 20 plus or getting under 2? He would have said 20 plus.
Oh,
against
yeah.
the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Cardinals walk away with a win at home against the Cowboys. I did not see that one coming. But like most people, I did not see that one coming.
That is true. So, I don't know. Like you said, there's a lot of points left over on the bench here. This was a pretty tough management going on in this matchup. But
yeah.
Greg squeaks by with the win, going 3-0, keeping it moving, huh? Let's keep the standings. What do we got going on here? Lemons and Greg up at top 3-0. Lemons has a lot more points for though. Lemons team is much more. You look at the points for on the league table, and there are a couple that just don't belong, and one of them is Greg. Greg belongs more in like the 5th through 8 range, and Manthai's team does not belong.
Oof. Yeah.
That is rough, dude. Less than 300 points in 3 weeks.
Yeah, if I didn't go 175, I think mine would be looking a little bit rougher than it is right now. Just over 400.
It's just tough. I mean, Brandon's team 322 isn't a ton better, but I mean, he's 0-3. You know, he knows his place, and George at 388, man. Eesh. I don't know. Something I noticed. So let's talk about the best players of the week, huh?
Let's
Quarterback,
do it.
we've got Tua for George in the lineup. Good for him. 41 points. Devon A-Chain at running back, of course, but on Brandon's bench, 58 points. Tough. Keenan Allen was top wide receiver. Jake, kudos to you. 53 points. Manthai had Sam
Love it.
Laporta, tight end, 25 points, but he was on Manthai's bench. That's two bench players. Kicker Matt Gay dropped a 24 bomb. He's a free agent, or at least, yeah, I think he still is. And then the defense was Buffalo 33. Nick B did start them because why wouldn't you? So,
Yep.
couple unknown / benched players of the week this week. Kicker once again. I don't think we've had a kicker owned yet that's been the top scorer because kickers are
Jeez.
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So, let's check out transactions, huh?
This is a big one, number. It was a big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was a big one. What do we got here? So the weekly transactions. Let's start it off hot, huh?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Actually, we're not gonna start off hot. I'm gonna go through the ones that don't matter first because I gotta go to the other Fab offers page for the who all bet on what. Manthai picked up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, cut Damian Harris, and I saw that he has Clyde Edwards-Helaire in his starting lineup this week. He's not really gonna start Clyde, is he? Against me?
No, he's not going to do that. I don't think so.
I think he is. We'll talk
You
about
think so?
it.
Yeah, okay.
You picked up Brandon Aubrey, kicker for Dallas. Do you have two kickers in your team now?
I think I might have dropped one. Let me look. I had Aubrey like a week ago, and then I had to drop him, and then I picked him back up.
Ah, gotcha.
Some finessing, but
Sure.
yeah,
Finessing the Dallas kicker, huh?
absolutely.
He's been all
I
right.
dropped one of the drop Cleveland defense. Cleveland defense has actually been pretty solid, but I think they
They have
have the
been.
Ravens
They do.
this week, and then a bye week after. So
And then San Fran.
and then yeah, I was looking ahead to like bye week San
Yeah.
Fran. Probably not going to keep them for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I'll let
tough.
somebody else own them.
Greg cut Zach Ertz, picked up Logan Thomas. I cut New England's defense and picked up New Orleans. New England has also been pretty solid, but they have Dallas this week, so I'll pass on that. And New Orleans has Tampa. Guess I'm starting them against Tampa. Baker throws picks. Greg, right after picking up Logan Thomas, cut him and picked up Jared Goff. Good for you, Greg. Power move. And Jake, you cut the Jets defense, picked up Cincinnati. Cincinnati has Tennessee this week. Fair enough. All right, let's get into the interesting shit, huh?
Let's do it.
So Pittsburgh defense went to Greg for a $5 bid, which ended up being pretty savvy because I bid $3 for them, and I was very sad to not get Pittsburgh's defense. Pittsburgh has Houston this week, which might not be the best of matchups, but Pittsburgh's defense has been so solid.
Have it, and like TJ Watt in particular, off to an
Yeah.
insane start again. I forgot what the stat was, but
Bonkers,
that
dude.
was a stat that was like something about the first 3 weeks, like having 6 sacks and something else. Just like the first player in NFL history to do whatever it was.
He's a
That surprised
monster.
you, insane. Yeah.
Josh Palmer
Defense.
went to George for 10. Only other bid was Lemons with a $0 bid, so an overpay for Josh Palmer technically, but I mean at the same time $10 for Josh Palmer, who's gonna be the wide receiver 2 on this team going forward, isn't that's not a bad deal. I did have Josh Palmer last year when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams were taking turns being out, and I'm gonna say right now Josh Palmer disappointed me even when he was the only guy there, so I'm not sure how often he's gonna be in George's lineup. He might be disappointing, but in my opinion, Josh Palmer just isn't good at football, and he's like an okay fringe roster guy that can catch a couple passes a game. But I'm kind of over him personally.
I hovered picking up either him or Quentin Johnston, and I didn't pick up either of them, and I'm okay with that. I've already got decent receivers, and I don't know if I'm ready to start them. And I couldn't pick between those two. Just couldn't do it. Even though generally I would just go for the rookie every time with Quentin Johnson, but I don't know. I've got Keenan Allen already too, so there's really no reason at this point to pick him up. But George is 0-3. He's making an effort here. I like to see it.
I also like to see it. The last transaction of the week, Jake. How does this make you feel?
It's a callback to last week, actually, with the bidding strategy. If you saw my amount.
Was it 31 last week or what?
It was like, wasn't there like three people bid 31?
Yeah. Brandon and Cade both bid like 31 or 32 or something on a player.
They both bid 31, so I decided to bid 32 this week.
It was all of Brandon's fab.
That's what it was.
It's all Brandon's
that one wasn't specifically 31 for a reason other than it being all of it, but the other one
But
was
Cade bid 31, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was reasonable to go 32 here. Brian, 200 IQs and he gets me at the 35.
I had 33 written down, and I changed it to 35 because I was afraid. Could you imagine if I dropped a 33 right over your head?
33 would have been crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I feel really good about that. Tank Dell's been really good lately. CJ Stroud's been able to support him. And, dropped 30 last week, 20 the week before. Not against massively good defenses. But, I'm not expecting him to continue to do that. But if he can drop me double digits on any given week, that'd be huge for me. So, that's worth 35
Absolutely,
fab.
yeah.
And let's not forget that George also bid $10 on him, too. Did not win him that time. So, looks like he dropped a 10 bomb on Palmer and Tank, hoping he'd get one.
Yeah.
And Jake gets none. Good stuff.
I get none, yeah.
All right, let's
I don't know if we looked at it, but didn't he have like a bunch of targets back-to-back weeks? Is that what it was? I think he had just a bunch with CJ Stroud.
Oh, Dell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 7 targets last week, 10 the week before. So, yeah, quite a few.
That's what you want to see. Yeah, that's what you want to see.
Absolutely. And he's catching most of them.
It's absolutely worth a shot. He unfortunately was not drafted, so we can't think ahead about potential insane value. But
right.
I did notice for anybody out there, CJ Stroud was drafted. So I don't know if anyone would keep him or not, but down the line, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
He's had a couple good games in a row.
He has strung some together with the subpar roster. Let's get into the matchups, huh? Check out the previews. First, we got me and Manthai. I gotta take me. Manthai's team is bad, dude. He's starting Clyde. Aaron Jones will play for him, so he'll be back. He's starting Drake London, who has been hit or miss. Had a big week against Green Bay, but that's about it. Joe Burrow's been struggling big time. Hopefully Tennessee's your bounce back if you're Preston, but yeah. Freiermuth. Brandon Ayuk, is he playing? He was practicing on Monday. That's the last report on him. So he'll probably play? Maybe? We'll see. Right now he has Miami's defense against Buffalo. I can't imagine he rolls with that. But there's not a ton of options on his bench as far as running backs go. He's got Breida. I don't know if you've heard anything about Saquon. I'm not sure if he's playing or not this week.
I have not heard anything.
If Saquon doesn't play, Breida's got to be in there over Clyde, right? Clyde's playing the Jets. Shit, yeah, I'd start A.J. Dillon over Clyde. Yeah. I'd start Jones and Dillon before I start Clyde. But maybe that's just me.
Is Justin Fields just going to stay there for a while, or are you thinking about?
So I tossed around in my head for a little bit on this one. I don't have another quarterback on my roster, and I don't plan on adding one this week. He plays the Broncos. If he can't score against the Broncos, he can't score against anybody.
That is a good point.
So I'm going to ride him with the Broncos. Brandon's going to say pause.
I was about to say, yeah.
He'll like that. I'm going to roll with Justin Fields for this week. And if he has a good week, it means, hey, it's possible that he can have a good week. And if he has a bad week, he's dead. That's 4 weeks in a row, man. Fool me 4 times, shame on me. So.
Yeah, this is pretty simple. I've got you in this one. Manthai's team is trash. Let's keep her moving.
Let's keep her moving. We got Brandon and Cade up next. That should be a good one, huh? Cade's heavily favored by Yahoo. I think Lamar plays Cleveland. That's a tough defense. I was going to say 19.5 feels like a low projection, but maybe it's pretty accurate. Smith and Waddle, Mix and Pacheco. Pacheco's got the Jets. That's a tough matchup. Swift looks like Brandon put Swift in the flex and threw Garrett Wilson on the bench. I understand that, and I kind of respect it. I've got to take Cade here.
Yeah, I do too.
Josh Allen against Miami. T. Higgins should bounce back. A.J. Brown's good. Bijan plays Jacksonville, so that should be a good game for him. ETN plays Atlanta, which conversely should be an okay game for him, I would think. I don't think Atlanta's run defense has been that good. They've been pretty good, but I wouldn't worry too much. ETN's been pretty good.
Cade brought DK back into the mix.
He did.
Got him in the flex on a Monday night.
Benched Ramondre against Dallas. That makes sense. Yeah, got him in the flex on a Monday night. Yep, that's good to see. Yeah, makes sense. The only thing I would do if I was Cade, dude, you're starting Kyle Pitts. What are you doing?
I didn't realize that they're doing the London games this week.
Yeah, there is
So it's 8:30.
Atlanta Jacksonville. Yep, London game. Because it's the Jags, dude. That's basically their second
They might
stadium.
be there. Yeah, they might be going.
So, yeah, good reminder. But I'm Kyle Pitts over Goddard. Interesting.
Is that going to be the third week in a row with a new tight end? A unique tight end. He must have started Goddard 2 weeks ago, and then he had Taysom Hill last week, and now Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, because
so kind of a tight end
Pitts.
scramble.
Yeah. The tight end special, huh? The sampler platter.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to you and Greg. Let's see. This is projected to be a close one from Yahoo. You've got Brock Purdy against Arizona. That's a good matchup, as long as they don't do what they did last week. Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen should absolutely feast as long as the Chargers can keep their offense moving without Mike Williams. Miles Sanders against Minnesota is a fine matchup. Javonte against the Bears, great matchup. Yeah, you got really good matchups on your team. Really good matchups. I could see that outperforming. On the other side, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Keenan Allen last week, 20 targets, 18 catches. You dream of that.
You don't beat 20 targets though. Even without Mike Williams, you're not beating 20 targets like ever again.
No, I can't. I can never set my hopes that high. But
that's insane.
I'm just I'll look back at it if he ever has a bad week.
Yeah,
thank you for those 20 targets week 3.
You're gonna be looking back at that like tonight before you go to bed, before you rub one out. Dude, Jesus Christ! Come on, 20 targets. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've seen like high teens, but 20 and 18 catches on it. Come on, man. 215 yards. Imagine if he would have scored a touchdown. I mean, he threw one, so I guess it counts, but jeez.
It's crazy. I think I saw the record was Brandon Marshall back in the day.
What a guy.
Somehow.
Monster.
I think that's who it was. Hopefully that's wrong, but
I don't think anybody's fact checking you on that, dude.
Don't fact check me. I thought I heard that somewhere.
I'm gonna fact check you live on the air. You're talking most receptions in a game?
I can't remember his targets or receptions. I think it had to be.
You're right. It is Brandon Marshall. 21 catches in 2009.
21, okay.
That's
so I did hear that. It's been a while.
Hey, congratulations, Jake. Proud of you.
I remembered the pointless stat, yep.
So I like your roster this week, but if I'm looking at Greg's roster, Kirk Cousins, I think is QB1 this year.
Talked about it earlier. I'd like my roster a little bit better if Eckler was in this week.
Eckler over
I'd feel really nice.
Or between him or Sanders, one of the two. Or maybe even in for Reed.
I'm going to take me if Greg picks the wrong receivers again this week and has.
Well, he's starting Chase, so I think he's okay. Pittman, Kenneth Walker against the Giants. Kyren Williams has looked really good. The Hawkinson Cousins stack. God, that stack sucks. It's good, though. He gets the job done. It's just, come on, man. You got Kirk Cousins and you're talking about stacks. Get Justin Jefferson in your team, Greg. Talk to George. Amari Cooper was a monster last week, wasn't he? 30 points. Hell yeah. Look at his, oh my God, his schedule is all green. Insane. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Jake. Hmm. Oh man, I kind of like Greg's team. I like. Oh, you guys are. This is gonna be a fun matchup.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. I mean, I
Hey,
don't. I can't even like be confident
I'm
here.
gonna
I'm
go
still gonna
Greg
be
unless you put Jordan
overthinking.
Love in right now.
I was about to say I'm still really thinking about who I'm going to pick at quarterback this week. I'm going to be so
Detroit,
tempted on a
man.
Thursday night to run it back, another Thursday night quarterback.
Yeah, you're gonna see that score in your lineup all week. Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? He's
And
only
then I'm,
projected
and then
16. That feels low
yeah, it does feel low. And then I'm just
with
remembering
Watson
how
back.
Rodgers looked against the Lions last year, and who was that? Kirby Joseph just picked him off like twice a game every time.
Yeah,
So I was a little sad, but
Yahoo's kind of disrespecting Love in the projections. 16 points. He's been projected 16 or 15 throughout the entire year. That's like his full season's projections right now. And he's had 25 plus in 3 weeks in a row. And Detroit's defense isn't nearly as good as New Orleans, and he has Watson and Aaron Jones back. I'm just saying, it's
yeah,
there's
I'm
an
going to be
and
tempted to make a
yeah,
change there. I'll say that.
Brock Purdy's only busted 20 points once, and it was last week. But Arizona's a really nice matchup, so we'll see. I'm going Greg here, but it's really close, man. It's really close. I think Greg goes 4-0, and we'll get Greg on the show soon, I think. Oh wait, wasn't Greg just on the show
Yeah,
last week, right?
yeah.
Yeah, with the stupid Jamar
Yeah, he
Chase
was.
stuff.
Yeah, he definitely was. I'm like we're talking about. Yeah, he definitely was. Apologies, Greg. We appreciate you being on the pod last week. Took a second, but
You benched
maybe
Jamar
Greg will be
Chase
back
though.
later on this season.
Maybe we'll wait
I
till
was
he
about to
loses.
say it. The only reason I hesitated because that's what I was about to say that I remember saying that
Uh-huh.
he wasn't going to get on until he lost. We allowed him to join the pod.
I'll allow it.
We'll
But
see.
Brandon doesn't come
Maybe
on until he
4-0.
wins, though.
Agreed.
Next up, we got
Definitely.
Lemons and George. 3-0 versus 0-3, and Yahoo likes George's team better. It's kind of funny. Lemons has Tyreek,
Yeah, that is
Mahomes.
pretty wild.
Chris Godwin's been a bit disappointing. Mostert. Buffalo's a tough matchup, but I mean, you can't bench Mostert after what he did last week. Brian
No,
Robinson against Philly. That's a tough matchup. Starting Kincaid this week. That's kind of ballsy. No other tight end on the roster. Oh, yeah, he started Taysom Hill last week. Yeah, Kincaid, I don't know. Miami's a good matchup, though, so hey. Ford against Baltimore. You're starting Ford no matter what if he's on your team, right? I mean, he's the guy. Yeah, I agree. I think
yeah.
Georgia's team might take this one. Tua, I mean, Buffalo's not a good matchup, so say what you will about that, but I don't know. I thought Tua's been pretty solid this year. In his other tough matchup, though, New England, he did drop an 11, so maybe there's an argument to be made that Tua might
I,
struggle
I'm
against the good
I'm
defenses.
taking lemons. I'm taking lemons here, even though I
Taking
was also
lemons.
surprised at seeing this projection and the fact that George is at that 122 versus the 115 from lemons. But I think this is going to be lemons.
Hmm. I'm going George. I like it. I think Justin Jefferson against Carolina is too good to pass up, and I think if Tyreek pops off, then Tua will too. So I think that's a little bit of mitigation there. And if Tyreek doesn't pop off, I think Lemon's team struggles a lot more. That's my
Kincaid's
final
already
answer.
got a low. Kincaid's already got a low projection, so I'm not scared of him going underneath
Fair.
that because it wouldn't be too much.
Yeah.
Mahomes at 24. I mean, last week the Chiefs were insane, and he only like Mahomes didn't even do like insane. He had 3 touchdowns, good amount of yards, like a pretty average
That's true.
Mahomes stat line. Like it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah. 272,
Tyreek
three
Hill
touchdowns.
at 19 projection. I mean, we know Tyreek Hill and
Yeah. I mean,
what he
he'll
can
do that in
do.
2 plays.
Kansas City defense might be getting like close to 20 here with the Jets.
Good.
The
You're
Jets
you're not
offense.
wrong. The defense I shouldn't sleep
I,
on. But
this is
Philly
a
against
Sunday.
Washington, same way
This is
though.
a Sunday night game. You will see Jets fans booing their own team at home. 25 points from the Chiefs defense. It's going to be. I don't know.
Yeah, but if
I've
the
got
Chiefs put up
Michael.
20-25, so are the Eagles because they play Washington at home.
Oh, true. Yeah, Sam Howell has not looked incredible.
No, he's looked, dare I say it, horrendous.
Yeah. Not only was he not incredible, he was horrendous. Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. This will be tight, but I like George here. You like Lemons. Let's see who gets it. Let's see who
Yep.
gets the one. Oh, they'll both get the 1 if George wins. Otherwise, it'll be a 4. Last matchup, Nick B. Laner. Honestly, underrated matchup. I like this one. Jalen Hurts against Washington should be barbecue chicken. Rest of the team, I mean, he's got McCaffrey. Starting Tyler Algier is not what you want to see if you're Nick B. I know he had a big week 1, but he hasn't done anything. Problem is, he's got Kendre Miller, Jalen Warren, and Elijah Mitchell on the bench, and I don't know. I probably start. Well, if Montgomery plays, you're starting Montgomery, but I don't know if Montgomery's going to play. He was announced as questionable with that thigh injury still.
Yeah, I don't think you can start. I don't think I'd start Montgomery
I
this
think
week.
I'd start
even if he
Kenneth
does play.
Gainwell over Algier though. Yeah, or are you not in that camp? Kenneth Gainwell only had
It's a
5.8
toss-up.
last week, but he had
I'd probably
14
just go with
carries.
Algier. I'd probably just go with Algier, honestly. I mean, it's.
Maybe it is
I
the
would.
Jags.
I'd probably flip a coin.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Algier doesn't really offer any upside. Last week he had 10 touches. Week before he had 16 though, so maybe there's maybe. Hey, who knows? Prove me wrong. Kelsey, Mike Evans. Mike Evans been so freaking good this year, dude. It's actually kind of outrageous. So,
Yeah, he's been insane.
He's doing what he does best, scoring touchdowns. It's his thing. Laner side of the ball, Herbert, Debo against Arizona, nice. Hey, have you heard anything about Ayuk? Is he playing this week? Questionable, probably.
Yeah, he's still quiet.
If Ayuk doesn't play, Debo's a smash play again. Amon-Ra against Green Bay.
Yep.
Najee, Pollard, Mark Andrews, Nico Collins. Nico Collins against Pittsburgh is a tough matchup. Oh, I don't know. Apparently, Pittsburgh's defense hasn't been that good. I haven't watched them play a lot, so I guess I don't really know. But
Pittsburgh's defense?
yeah. Like, the scores have been low, but, I mean, Yahoo says Pittsburgh is 5th worst against wide receivers, so it's a good matchup.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's an argument for DJ Chark against Minnesota in the flex spot, but I don't know. Live your life, Laner. I respect it. This is a tough one for me to pick. I think. Najee's been really disappointing. I think I go Nick B here.
I'm going Nick B.
Yeah. It's tough. Laner could totally win this game, though. Like, super possible. He just needs Najee to not stink against Houston, really. Najee hasn't busted 6.5 points all season, man. That's bad. And they played the Raiders last week, so, like, what better matchup do you want?
Yeah, I mean,
he stinks. Well, he doesn't stink, but the Pittsburgh offensive line stinks. So, I guess that's the matchups then. Go Nick B. Oh, update on the matchups, by the way, everybody. This season, I'm 67% on my picks, so pretty accurate, honestly. And over the course of this year and last year, I'm at 57.75%. So, all in all, pretty solid, Better than a coin toss.
Some sports gambling. Definitely, that's a pretty good percentage. Way better, yeah.
Pretty solid this year. All right. It's time for everybody's favorite part, Jake.
Do it.
It's time for the roasts.
I unleash Bryant.
Unleash. All right, let's see what we can do here.
Let Bryant cook.
Yeah, we'll let's Bryant cooking today. I'm never gonna roast my own team because it's perfect. But Preston, let's see. Full Chubb. The only person going full Chubb in this league is Preston's opponent each week when they realize that they play him. Brandon. Somehow I'm more afraid of your team than Preston's, and you're 0-3. Cade. Signing Kyle Pitts is punishment enough. I don't need to roast you. Jake. You're gonna start the wrong quarterback again this week, and it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you the win. Greg, the Kirk Cousins Hawkinson stack is like the Ford Taurus of Minnesota stacks. Coincidentally, that's what Cousins drives to the games. So I guess you're on brand. And it was his team name the other year, wasn't it? Beige Ford Taurus. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah.
Let's see, Mike. Dude, Dalton Kincaid is. Hey, prove me wrong. What can I roast about on this team? Off-brand Bijan might actually outscore Bijan. Oh no, he plays Philly. You wish you had Bijan on your team, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Kincaid stinks too.
He absolutely does. Yeah.
Daddy will be back. Sorry, George, not this week. Team is garbage. Brees Hall, not good, and you really miss Cooper Kupp. Also, starting 2 Raiders is enough said. Nick B, Jalen Hurts, just like your lineup hurts after you take this L to Lane. Laner, dude, you're still starting Najee Harris, man. Come on. Oh, he doesn't have another running back. He's got JT on the pup still.
He's done for you.
Oh no, Lane.
That's tough.
You're fucked, dude. Once JT comes back, Lane's team's actually kind of nice, not gonna lie. But he's not back, so Laner, sorry. And Ayuk's gonna play, so Debo's gonna have like 8 points. Sorry, dude. All right. Also, Jags before T-Law. I jumbled that name up a little bit and saw BJ's before T-Law, and I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, I guess those are the roasts this week. I tapered off at the end. I'll have to practice more. It's easy to roast teams like Full Chubb when
that's true.
when the team is that bad. But International Lovers is 3-0, man. What am I supposed to do here? So, anyways, thanks for tuning in this week, gentlemen. We'll catch you all next week. Hey, go Pack, go, man. And good luck to everybody except for Preston and Greg. Sorry, Greg. Get fucked, dude. Maybe bench Jamar Chase again. Later, everybody.